I'm Niaz Salehi and I want to talk about the effect of sanctions. Let me start with a story. When I was a kid around 4, I had a disease named nephrotic syndrome which is related to kidney problems. One day when my dad went to the pharmacy to buy my medicine, he saw a man there whose daughter had the same problem. When that man heard the high price of those medicines, he said nothing and left the pharmacy, although the person working there called him several times. This disease grows to kill the patient if not treated on time. That girl could have had education like us. She could have stood here instead of me and talked about her passion. But now, she and many other kids like her are dead, only because of lack of medicine. According to NBC News, in 2008, more than 200 million children around the world didn't get basic medical care, leading to nearly 10 million deaths. Now imagine how many will it be in 2018. One of the main reasons that they can't reach medicine is the high price of them, which is sometimes caused by sanctions. Let's see what are these sanctions. According to Oxford Dictionary, sanction is a threat and penalty for disobeying a law or rule, but we're discussing an issue related to diplomacy. In diplomacy, sanctions are political measures taken to express displeasure or disapproval at a certain action through political or diplomatic means rather than affecting military or economic relations. Sanctions are often imposed by a country or organization towards another country or organization to convey serious displeasure. But in the modern world, sanctions are more a weapon for taking revenge, often imposed on countries when their act harms or affects the interests of the imposing country. Sanctions can ban or freeze the economic activities or assets of a country present on the imposing country's territory. There are different types of sanctions. There is diplomatic sanction, which is the reduction or removal of diplomatic ties such as embassies. There is military sanction, which is military intervention. There is sport sanctions, like preventing a country's people or teams to compete in international events. And there's economic sanction, which is typically a ban on trade, possibly limited to certain sectors such as armaments or certain expectations such as food or medicine. Actually, no document has been written about the sanction of drugs in Iran. But the sanctions on Iran's banks and the impossibility of exchanging money made it so hard to import drugs to Iran, and the people of my country paid for it. By the way, the United Nations, in its Millennium Declaration, mandated that by 2015, people in the developing countries should have sustainable access to vital medicines. Now, let's take a look at some of these vital medicines that were so scarce during Iran's sanctions. The first one is cytarabine. Cytarabine is a cancer medication that interferes the growth and spread of cancer cells in the body. It is used to treat certain types of blood cancer. The second one is warfarin. Warfarin is a blood thinner. It is used to reduce blood clots in the body, and it reduces the risk of stroke, heart attack, or other serious conditions. The third one is furosemide. Furosemide is a water pill that prevents your body from absorbing too much salt. It is used to treat fluid retention in people with congestive heart failure, liver disease, or kidney disorders such as nephrotic syndrome. And the fourth one is phenytoin. Phenytoin is an anti-epileptic drug that slows down the impulses in the brain, which can cause seizures. Fortunately, every problem has a solution. In this case, there are some charities who actually help and collect money for people who can't have access to medical care. For example, Behnan Baheshpur's charity. The charity started in 2007 with the aim of promoting and collecting public contributions to donating cancer-related and other medications. The therapy equipment and medicine donated to patients covered by the charity are provided free of charge after going under expert examination. Mohammed, ambassador of charity, has been working in the same field since 2008. The charity's medical section has been providing healthcare services to poor people throughout Iran. This section identifies patients, introduces them to the relevant hospital units, provides needed drug items, and follows the patient's complete treatment process. Now, with all the things I said, I want to invite you to go and join these charities to be a small part of the great help they send and have a role in saving children's lives. And as a human being, I want the powerful countries to stop putting sanctions on developing countries knowing it will directly affect the innocent people, especially the needy group of the society. And the last thing I want to say is that sanctioning drugs is attempted murder. Thank you.